everybody. Welcome to this week on Life Uncorked. We're so glad you're here with us. Joining me today to share her fabulous story of aging like a fine wine is Sheila Haisfield. She's the founder and president of Bally Girl Inc., and you may know her as the Bally Nana on Instagram. Sheila, welcome. How are you doing right now? Just kind of what's going on?
Everything's good. I'm still doing some physical therapy because I have back issues, like, talk about aging.
Yeah.
Not so fine wine right this minute, but it's actually getting much better. So,
Oh, good. I know. Doesn't it seem like sometimes you wake up and you're fine, and then within minutes, it's like, where
I
did
know
this come from?
that's how I felt when I came back here. I thought, oh, this is great. I can do this and that and the other. And
Yeah.
it slowed me down a little bit, but I just did a trunk show the other day. So
Yeah, I
that
don't
was,
think much slows you down. It would
no.
take more than that. Yeah, you're amazing. In fact, that's why you're here to share your incredible story. You were approaching 60 one day and you just said to yourself, I can't do this anymore.
Well, it was really exactly what happened. I was vice president of a bank doing their marketing and, pulling on the pantyhose and putting on the suit and slipping into the Ferragamos and thinking, oh my God, I cannot do this the rest of my life and I can't afford to retire. So I have to come up with an alternative retirement plan. So I had visited Bali 10 years prior and
Mhm.
it just resonated. They had just gotten electric. It was strung, on a bamboo
Yeah.
through the rice fields. And I had one bare light bulb in the middle of the room and um,
What
hanging
a
from the ceiling
contrast.
and no hot water and no flush toilet. And it was a huge contrast and I felt at home.
So that inspired you to change directions and leave your.
Well, it wasn't quite that easy. I went back, to see if it still resonated. This was 10
Mhm.
years prior. I had a cousin that had moved there in 1991. And I had been on a horse trek in New Zealand and looked at a map and thought, oh, he's only this far away. I'll go see what Richard's up to. But I came back and kept working. And so when this happened at 60, I thought, okay, I've got to think of a 5-year plan. So I came back from that trip and thought, this is it. I'm going to put it all into place. One thing led to another. And I finally woke up another morning and thought, you know what? I'm going to turn 65 and say, I should have done this 5 years ago.
Did you find when you turned 60 that, because we've always celebrated the 10-year milestones, 20th
Right.
birthday or 21st, but 30, 40, 50, 60. And then my husband and I went through that. It was like at 60, we're like, we're going to start celebrating the big ones every 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, because all of a sudden 10 years, I don't know, it seems a bit long.
You're right. And every 10 years, I would picture myself 10 years, in the future.
Mhm.
And it was never anything like that, right?
Mhm.
Life happens
It
and
does.
usually for the better. Um, you just make it better.
I love that. You make it better. That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Um,
So
I,
what
I
drives you now? And tell us a little bit about the company, because it's a
okay.
pretty
Well,
drastic change from
it
working
was
at.
a draft from bank marketing.
Yeah.
Um, well, I did end up saying, I have to do this sooner than later. So the 5 months became, instead of 5 years, became the plan. I moved there 22 years ago now. I just turned 82. And
Oh,
I had no idea what I was going to do when I was there. He wanted me to join him in his business. He had a clothing business, but I said, no, I really wasn't going to continue in business. I thought, okay, let me just take it easy and travel a little bit.
kind of all places, Bali, just relax and
You're right.
no, I do.
Exactly. Exactly. I had been working for the first 5 years. So anyway, I hired one artist and we had a business of hand painting Cario sarongs and matching shirts was how I started the business with her. And they were all on the cotton voile and beautiful. And I sold them in the hotel boutiques like the Four Seasons, the Ritz-Carlton, all the luxury hotels. And I didn't want to compete with that business because we had a store. She got the store. I just,
Right.
sort of walked away. And so I ended up hiring one artist that wasn't working for us before. That I lived in Ubud, so that's a
Oh my
artistic
God,
community.
one of my favorite places.
I know it was fabulous. I mean,
Magic. Yeah.
and if you're creative at all, even if you're not, you can't help but be creative. I think there.
True.
You're just surrounded. Everything the Balinese do is artistic. From
Yes.
their offerings every morning to every food that they present. So I just am amazed. I love process and I loved watching the artisans work. So I thought, well, I'll hire one guy and see what one artist and see how that works out. As it was, I ended up going back to the States, and a woman who had visited my home when I had the other business said that she wrote for copy for Travelsmith catalog. And did I have anything? They were going to do a destination Bali catalog, and did I have anything that I wanted to submit for consideration?
As a matter of fact.
And I sent a few things off to them. One was I had asked this artist that I had hired to paint about just a huge piece of silk fabric. I was going to do one-of-a-kind caftans, but there wasn't time by the time I left. So I split it down the middle and made 2 scarves out of it. And I had them both with me. And of course, they liked the hand-painted one and ordered 250. So I had an order before I had a business. So I went back to Bali, hired 10 artists, all my neighbors, and, started my business. And they sold out when they sent out the email with the photos. They sold out and back ordered. So they asked me for 250 more. I had to hire 10 more artists because now we're in a rush, mode.
Right.
And they were all the artists were painting the same design, and they're all hand painted. So, they did it and looked similar. And then they sent out the print catalog. The print catalog featured my scarf on the front cover and on the back cover. And that started selling. They ordered another, 700. And we were just scrambling. I practically had, I had a studio next to my house. And everybody kept shifting around and, so that they could all fit in. It was amazing. It was so much fun. I did product for them every year for about 4 years. And then I thought, this is not why I'm here. I really want to do this in a more creative way. So we stopped that relationship, and I started back again with the hotels and with just scarves. And then I started making bathing suits to go with the caftans. Whatever I wanted to wear, I would make.
Right.
Because I love the process and I wanted to know how things were done there.
So your 5-year plan turned into a 20-year plan as we sit here today.
Yes.
You're back in Florida. Do you still go back and forth to Bali?
I haven't had a home here since 2004, but I just did rent an apartment. I have now children and grandchildren who are married, and lots more happening here.
No, and once you have grandchildren, I find especially it changes your thought about where you might like to spend so much of your time.
And I like the spontaneity that I have when I'm here because, for instance, a granddaughter called me up one day and her brother was coming to visit. She's working in Atlanta, and my grandson was coming to visit that weekend with his girlfriend. Another granddaughter was going to be there that weekend for a wedding. And she said, and we're all having lunch together on Saturday. We wish you were here. So I got on a plane and I went.
Oh, wonderful.
I can't do that from Bali,
No, well, not easily. Not by lunchtime, that's for sure.
Not by lunchtime.
Sheila, you have an acronym that I absolutely love. It's PIBE. Tell us all what that means. Because this just exactly, I love it.
My kids had this hat made. The PIBE stands for play it by ear. And that's pretty much what I've done for the last 22 years.
It is. And what a beautiful way to make your way through your life. And at your age, you're thriving. I want to know how you would like to be remembered.
The best thing I can tell you right now is I'd like for people to smile when they think of me and think of my smile. Because I was with some friends last night and I told them about that question. And they all said, well, we all think of you as smiling. I don't think I've ever seen you not smile. And I said, well, I'm happy. You know, I have a wonderful life. Why shouldn't I be smiling all the time?
That's
But and I think the biggest compliment I ever got was a friend who's told me that when she saw my name on the phone ID, she started smiling and couldn't wait to answer it. And I thought,
I get that
huge
because
compliment.
we first spoke, it's been a few years now, and we don't know each other personally. And when I hear your voice, I smile. You
Oh, that's
just
so
bring
nice.
joy. You bring joy. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad to introduce you to our community now. For those that didn't know you, how can they get in touch with you? Where can they see your work? What's your website?
Well, my website is still breezecollection.com.
And get your credit card ready.
Yeah, get your credit card because everything's 60% off now.
Oh my gosh.
I
Okay,
am
I
trying
didn't need to know that, but now I do.
the I am actually trying to close down the business finally. I think that it's kind of time that I do. So I sent a lot of things here to a warehouse and had to pivot to go online and and Instagram, and that's called It's a Breeze.
Which is perfect for you. I have
And
a feeling you might, my thought, you're going to shut that down, and I don't think you're done. I think that's
no, there's another chapter or two
you.
or
Yes,
three.
absolutely. Sheila, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm thrilled to learn more of your story, and everyone out there. Isn't she amazing? Thank you so
Oh,
much. Take care.
thank you, Mel. I love talking to you anyway. Thank you.
We'll
It's
see
been
you next
it's
week.
been a magic life. It really has been wonderful.
Well, and smile, everybody. It's great advice and a beautiful way to end the day. Ciao.
Ciao.